Good day guys, Robo here, and we will be learning how to do a drush. This is going to be a sort of a build order tutorial, and hopefully by the end of this everyone will be able to get a drush done relatively efficiently and effectively. This is mainly going to be about the build order, less about when and why to do a drush or how to micro it or anything like that. Hopefully there should be a video to sort of explain those other things coming sometime soon. Also one for scout rushing and fast castling when I get around to it. But anyway, back to the game. This bit of the Dark Age is going to be pretty boring because it's just the standard scout, find your sheep, build houses, and 6 on food. So, and because my computer's pretty shitty, I can't fast forward. See, look at this is amazing. But yeah, so we'll just sort of talk about some stuff while we're waiting for that. Below the video, like in the about description, there will be a text copy of the build order, like saying how many villages to put where and whatnot. So you don't need to, I don't know, waste time trying to copy down however many villages I've sent somewhere. You can just read it off the bottom once you're done, or at the start, or whatever you want. Okay, here we are, we've got 6 on food. This is what you're going to do in basically every single game you ever play that has sheep. Why aren't you working? Well, anyway, 6 on sheep, and then we're going to go send 4 villages to wood. There we are, she's back to work now. And while that's going to happen, we are going to continue scouting around. Our scout and some sheep, trying to find stuff. And we have found just about all of our resources. We found that's 8 sheep, 1 boar, main gold, a couple of woods, stone, some more gold. I think from memory there should be a boar over here. Guess we'll see in a second. Is there a boar? Yes, there is a boar. There we are. So that's all of the key resources that you need to find. So we've done pretty well. Scout's going to come back, go to the sheep, and then just wander off to find the enemy and do all sorts of wacky things like that. Alright, now, anyone who watches any of the other tutorial videos will know my little personal thingy, where when I'm sending 4 to wood, I'll send 3 first, send the next villager to get the boar, and build a house on the way, and then the next one to wood. So you still end up with 4, just the 4th one is a little bit later than traditionally, I guess. But this is purely to have better timing with the sheep villages, in my opinion. It means you don't need to build a house before going to the berries, so it just saves you a little bit, which is always useful. So here we are. This villager is going to be number 4 on wood. There we are, 4 on wood. Awesome. 6 sheep, 4 on wood, 1 gain the boar. We haven't had too much idle time, so everything's going fairly well now. And then we're going to send our next 4 villagers over to berries, build a mill once they get there, and then we're all going to be pretty happy. Force dropping villagers quickly there to get the extra food to go up. Or not go up, make a villager. What I should say. I'll quickly mention something about this map. Gold. This is our main gold. We've got 3rd and 2nd golds over there. That is a really brilliant spot for drushing. It's a nice and safe position. It's like the back of your base. We can wall that off if the forest doesn't go to the edge of the map. We can wall between these 2 forests and these 2 forests. And boom, there you are. Gold, it pretty much can't be harassed. Like, you got 1 entrance, 2 entrances. You could even go wall this one up if you wanted to. You could wall this one as well if you really wanted to. And then the enemy is just not going to be able to get in and deny you off gold unless you screw up somewhere or they're already ahead of you. And that's really useful. And even if you don't want to wall here, you could go wall to the mill, wall from this tree towards the town centre, and then you're going to take a little bit of damage, and yeah, it just means you've got nice safe resources, which is what you always want, which is cool. I'm not going to steal these sheep, because the idea of this is to show the build with standard resources. And if I had 2 extra sheep, then that's no longer standard, is it? But But here we are, we've got 4 on berries now. 4, 4, 6 and scout. 7 there, sorry. And our next villager is going to go build a house. And then once the house is finished, they are going to build a barracks. And we're also about to go get second boar with one of the villagers that was previously eating sheep, and then the boar. And generally, you want to go get your second boar when the first one's roughly 150 to 175 food, depending on how far away the boar is. Like, if the boar's sitting here, then you'd wait for it to get closer to 100 food. If the boar's all the way out here, you want to go closer to 200. But that will sort of just... you'll get used to that with practice, basically. And just doing a lot of boar lures. And you see here, look, the boar's going to get in just about perfect time. Which is awesome. There we are, we're going to kill that boar. And then we're going to eat it. This guy, until we get the wood, we need to get another 5 wood for the barracks. He's just going to sort of chill there. Come on, 5 wood. There we are, there we are, there we are. Build the barracks. Onwards. There we are, barracks. And then we'll stick a palisade in between that, and then front of our base there is nice and walled. Now, this is where I'm going to no longer be focusing on the build order. Oh, well, no, one thing I will say. After you get the boar, your next villager has to go collect 10 gold. But then after that, I'm not going to write down what the build order is. I'll sort of hover around here and I'll show you a little bit. But this is purely going to be talking about the lead up to the Drush and what you do once you've got the Drush, basically. And there will hopefully be another video soonish, next, in a couple of weeks, on a Drush into a fast castle, and then maybe a Drush into a flush a little bit later than that. Those are basically the 2 standard things you want to do. We've queued up our 3 militia. Still got food for villagers, so build order is going fine so far. Now you'll notice that we have 50 gold here, which is the amount you need for loom. So if we hadn't gathered 10 gold from the gold, then we wouldn't be able to do loom later. And that's really going to sort of screw you over, because then you're either going to have to go feudal age without loom, or go send a villager to go get the gold later. And that's not too efficient, because you want to... that means you have to make a couple of extra villagers in the time it takes the villagers to go get the gold and walk back. So yeah, I hope that makes a bit of sense and I'm not just rambling on. And a common thing, well, basically whatever you're doing with a Drush, after you've got your barracks up, as soon as you've got 60 wood, you start building farms, pretty much. Don't be idle. But yeah, you just keep chucking down farms until you've got 4 or 5, depending on what strategy you're going for. And then once you've done that, well, it starts to vary. You might send some to gold or some to wood. What are you 2 doing? Well, anyways, yeah. So that makes sense. We've got 3 militia out, and you should have them all built by around about 8:30, 8:40, assuming you haven't had any idle time or you didn't have your barracks delayed or anything like that. Now, when you're attacking with your Drush, like, if you ever test something, a militia versus a villager in a one-on-one fight, assuming the villager has loom, which you would hope that they're doing by now, it's pretty much an even fight. Whoever attacks first wins, because militia has 4 attack, a villager has 1 armor, so they equal out having 3 attack each, and they've got equal health, so whoever attacks first wins. So this isn't like a scout rush or an archer rush or anything like that. The militia can't really kill villagers effectively. So like what you're going to aim for is like a villager like this. He's far away from the town center and he's all by himself. So you can mug him pretty well and you just get all 4 of your units, 3 militia, and your scout to run in there and whack him pretty much. And that's pretty simple. I think everyone can understand that. Whereas here, look, there's a shitload of villagers, so this would be a bad engagement to do. Like, look, you might be able to get 1 or 2, but I wouldn't expect you to be able to do a lot of damage versus 8 villagers. They're going to kill you pretty quickly. So what you're going to try to do is you run in, you attack them 3 or 4 times, whatever, and then when they turn around to attack you, you just start to run away a bit. And yes, you're not going to kill a villager, but you're going to do something a lot more important. You're going to force them to idle. Because something you'll hear me go on and on and on about is keeping a town centre working and not having too many idle villages. So if you force them to idle 4 of their villages attacking you, even for 10 seconds, that means they've lost like 20 of whatever resource they were gathering. Maybe. Alright, that's time that they're wasting. And they're not going to be able to get that back unless they're also harassing you or killing villagers or whatever. So like if you kill 1 villager, then they're 1 villager down. Or you could idle 10 villagers for 30 seconds. Like that seems like pretty basic maths, I think. Like 10 times 30 or 1 times 100. Like it's a pretty big difference. Like, I'm not really explaining this too well, but yeah, you just want to force idle time. If you can kill a villager, that's brilliant. Kill it. But you don't want to waste your units running into a town centre, like we're almost doing here, trying to get a kill. Like, if you've only got a single militia left and he's on like 10 health, then I guess that could maybe be worth it, running in and killing an injured farm villager. But generally it doesn't go too well. Well, look, there we are. We only attacked a villager once, and 3 villagers stopped working for a couple of seconds. And we've still got basically full health on all our units, so we can continue to do this basically for a couple of minutes here. Pretty easily, assuming they actually attack. Look, they've all stopped working. It's about 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds now. They're just not working, they're not gathering wood. And like, this could really screw up, say, a scout rush or something if you attack their berries. Because if... Oh, well, and this is why drushing is super effective versus the AI. Because a normal person would say, okay, look, the militia are running, let's go back to work. But the AI doesn't understand that, and they're literally going to chase my militia all the way around the map. So a really cool thing you can do is you attack, like, 10 villages, you get them to follow your militia, and then run to your town centre. The villagers will follow you, and then you get to your town centre, you garrison your villages, and then you just kill the enemy. Like, this is super cheap, and it would never ever work in a real game. Well, at least to that extent where they follow you all the way back. But it's pretty effective. And like, even if... Look at this, this is what, 2, 3, 6, 7, I think it's 2 chasing the scouts. That's about 10 villages there. Not working. That's at least half of their economy at this stage. And like, that's really is going to screw them over. Now, another thing that you can do, like especially if you're versing someone who's doing a scout rush, because generally they're going to have 4 villages on berries. 4 villages versus the scout and militia. It's a pretty even fight. I would generally say the militia and scout should win, purely because the villagers don't auto attack the next unit, so you get in 2 or 3 free hits every time they kill something, which is pretty useful. But just denying them off berries when they're doing a scout rush means they're going to be about 100 food short when they get up to feudal age. So like, that's not going to stop them doing too much. It just means that they're maybe going to be down 1 or 2. Or they'll be down an eco upgrade or 2. So like, they're not going to do horse collar, for example. And here we are, AI just getting wrecked over by wolves, which is pretty interesting. And look, I've basically just done a fast castle with a drush on a 1v1. Now, if anybody watched the the fast castle video, I said you should never fast castle in a 1v1. But here, look, I've harassed the enemy. I've slowed down their economy. If they make any scouts or anything, they're gonna maybe spend some time trying to kill my militia off. And look, I'm gonna be in the castle age at about 17 minutes something. So it's a little bit slower than a traditional fast castle, because I've had to spend an extra 180 food on the militia. And I had to build the barracks earlier. But it's still an effective strategy for 1v1s. Now, generally fast castles require you to be able to wall up pretty well. Because 3 or 4 scouts, if they got in and denied your gold here, or denied one of these buildings before you got up to castle age, then that's going to sort of wreck you. And that's sort of me going onto a tangent here, but I hope you can sort of understand what I'm trying to say there. If you really want to do a fast castle 1v1s, drushing first is the way to do it. Now here, thanks to these wolves, we're going to absolutely wreck all the blues units. All these villages. There's 1, 2, I think we killed another one over there. 1, 2, 3. 3, plus we killed one over here. That's 4 villagers, 5 villagers dead. Well, we're going to lose a lot of the militia to the wolves as well, but that's pretty effective, wouldn't you say? We've made 3 militias, we've killed 5 villagers. So yeah, that's a very good trade-off. Especially because a villager is more useful than a militia, because militia can't gather resources. And you need resources to be able to basically do stuff in Age of Empires. So, yeah, makes sense. I think I'm probably going to end this video here. I'll just quickly recap the build order, and then we'll finish. But if you've got questions or comments, feel free to just ask them down in the comment section. You can add me on Steam if you really want to, if you want some help with stuff. You can send me recorded games to have a look at, and I will try to give you advice on what you could do better, or where you've made a key mistake or something like that. And yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. And the build order, yeah, build order. 6 to sheep, 4 to wood, get your first boar, 4 to berries, go build a house and your barracks, send one of the boar villagers to get your second boar, send your next villager, which should be about population 17 or 18, to go get 10 gold, and then after that it starts to vary depending on if you're fast casting or flushing afterwards. But yep, that's the basics. Hope you all understand this. Oh, here we are, look, Drush is still paying off, we're about to get a villager right at the end. Very nice, awesome. We'll just quickly have a look at the stats, I guess, because just to sort of emphasize how effective that is. We made 3 militia, and blue has lost 6 villagers. That's 2 for 1 ratio, and that's amazing. Like, that would be one of the best Drushes ever if you did that versus a similarly skilled human player, because obviously the AI is pretty stupid. And also we followed that up with 1711 fast castle, which is good. I'm generally happy if I can get less than 1730, and which I've obviously done, so I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, thanks guys for watching.